Coming to you from the sunny San Francisco Bay Area every Tuesday night, it's ESG Live with just Paul and Ramir. Tonight, Chuck's got the night off, but we've got an exclusive interview with Kaabo Philippines owner Eugene Martinez about how his racing team is dominating the scooter racing scene. Plus, ESG community content, where's Alex as he scoots across America, scooter news, and more. And now, your hosts, Paul and Ramir.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
It's me and Paul. You know, Chuck's not here tonight, but we're going to hold it down. We're going to have a great show tonight. It's ESG episode 84. Thank you guys for joining. We have a great show. And also, thanks for keeping up with the new start time. We have 4 p.m. We moved from our 5 p.m. slot to an hour earlier. So if you're watching on the rewatch, you missed it because you wasn't here an hour earlier. And get here on time next time. Excuse me. Tonight, we have an interview with Eugene Martinez, the owner and race team manager of Kaabo Philippines.
Also got RR Espiritu and Jomar Tariman joining us. They're two winning racers, and we'll have a little brief interview with those guys as well as with Eugene.
Yeah, it's real entertaining, so look forward, stick around for that because Paul got in there with some great questions. And we also have some great footage that Richie put together beautifully for this live show. So, and also join the ESG Facebook group. We have about 16,000 members. If you guys want to participate in these Facebook giveaways, these community contents, everything on the Facebook, is headed over there, and it's spearheaded by David Vosk. So, head over to Facebook. We have all our things over there. Also, follow us on Instagram. We're at almost 7K right now.
Yeah.
We were pretty, pretty slow on the Instagram, but we start picking it up, and that's where you can find like some of our videos, our photos, behind the scenes. The bee's knees of what's happening is getting posted on Instagram. So, follow that. Excuse me. And also join our ESG forums. That's where you get expert advice. And, you might have some questions that, you have a question for me or Paul or Chuck or Trina or just something you've been thinking about scooters that you want to get out there. And the ESG forums is a great avenue to get those questions out there because Paul, Mr. Expert is out in there. Wait a minute.
Oh.
Well, where's the sound at? Is it this one? Oh, there we go. I got the right
super chat.
We have a super chat.
Stephen Vlogging.
He says, hi, ESG. Hi, Stephen.
$7 Thank you very much, Stephen.
Thank you. Raise the roof.
Yeah.
Hey.
Appreciate it. And, there's more.
That's it. Is it?
Oh.
No.
Yeah, there is. How'd you see it before we did, Richard? Nordium. Thank you, Carter. $10 from Carter Nordium of Nordbot.
Oh, I see. He says Ramir is my spirit animal. Big dog, big roof. Shout out to Carter. Okay.
All right. Oh, and before we move on, we should mention that at the end of the show, we've got the Facebook giveaway featuring tonight a Soman helmet from courtesy of Voro Motors. So stick around for that. And
okay. And let's start the show off right. And let's kick it off with ESG Photo Friday.
All right, we had 185 comments this week on Photo Friday's thread with winners all over the world from like Italy, the Bay Area, the Philippines. Starting off, we've got an honorable mention, got 11 likes, and that was Ducas Pico Alonso. He said, Akai and my Ruroc Chrome 2020 limited edition. And he's in Rome, Italy. And it's I am actually digging the scooter here. He's got the PMT tires on there and the Magura brakes. Really cool looking scooter. And then next up we've got runner-up, Dion Salambides. And Dion said, let's see. Well, yeah, Dion said, thank you, David Vosk, and can you please tag and mention our IG, Bay Riders with Z, electric with RIK from the East Bay, and he's looks like a weep head there, and I would love to get a closer look at that.
Uh-oh, we have another one.
We got, oh my, it's Mike Suarez coming through with a huge
Big Mike,
super
Big
chat.
Mike, we see you.
$50, man, Mike, thank you. You just. Thank you. We really, really appreciate it.
He says we're looking sharp. Thanks, man. You know, we tried. You know, I walked in the office and I see Paul. I said, "Wow, that's a great shirt." And he said the same. So
I don't know if you can see. I've got little cocktails all over my shirt here. So anyway, just saw it.
Next up,
new shirt. All right. So next up, we have Mark Viduya, our winner with 29 likes. He's got it says Slimer Sagala DT Ultra, and he's in the Philippines. And it says side hustling is the best way to deliver goodies. And he's got his Dualtron Ultra here out doing some Grubhubbing, it looks like. And he was our winner with 29 votes. And then we've also got some Vosk favorites, and this is something new we're doing. We've got David picked out a couple of his favorite photos. We've got John Sanchez. He picked up 9 votes with his majestic Wolf King. I love this photo. I love how the angle of the forks and the color kind of matches the background. And the other Vosk favorite we have is Tijak Tikaz, and he posted Buenos Aires, e-scoot from Rome, Italy. Fantastic background there. So thank you very much for those photos, guys. All right, and now an ESG commercial break, sponsored by Voro Motors.
And dirty. Hey. That's when I say what's up to Chuck. And
yeah, we'll bump elbows anyway.
Let's do it. Yeah, how was your weekend? I haven't talked to you about your weekend. How was your weekend?
It was pretty low key. Just, kind of chilling. I sold my bass amplifier that I've had for like years.
Oh, okay.
Years. That's
nice.
Good. More money for scooters.
Anything else?
Nah, not really. I was chasing the kids around. How about you?
For me, I've been riding my bike.
Oh, yeah. You've been putting some miles on that thing.
Yeah, pretty much. I think probably about 45 in the last couple of days. Mm-hmm. So, nice. I've been doing that. And also, I was watching UFC, was it 264, I believe, or something like that. Mm-hmm. It was a good main event. Actually, it was a good card. It was some nasty injuries, some knockouts, some surprising knockouts. One knockout I was very happy to see. But, other than that, that's pretty much it. Just been riding bikes and resting up.
Yeah, it's good weather for it today. Gorgeous scooter weather today. I almost didn't want to stop riding when I got here today.
I know. When I got to the office, I took a quick spin around Berkeley real fast, and just to let that air hit my face.
Great time of year for scooters.
Yeah. All right. So let's get into this community content. First up, we have Scooter Ride Sundays. That's where people share, your group rides. We love to see you with your family, your friends, your peeps, whatever. Send it to on Sunday on Facebook. We love it. But first up, we have Adam Maliki, and from Wrong Way, and he say vroom vroom. He's on this EUC, and it says 70 kph, not mph, but kph. But he's out. Look at him, speed.
Kind of goes dark here at the end. I was worried that maybe he watered it or something, but he ends up standing up, so it's all good. Yeah, there he is. All right.
Pretty cool. He's always doing some crazy things.
Yeah.
Like, every single week I'm like,
he did a great little preview of the Viper or the Nami scooter over the weekend. I was checking that out. So next up we have Brad LeMaiche. He posted a Saturday scooter tour of Tilsonburg up in Canada. Love this high-speed footage.
Oh, nice. Oh, I like that. I like that transition right there. Reggie, put that in the bank.
He's covering a lot of ground.
Yeah, he's probably, is that person riding with him? Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Keeps going much farther. We're going to see fast footage of somebody pushing a scooter.
Was that a super chat right there?
Yep.
Another one from
Nordium.
No, he said
Carter
shout out
Nordium.
to Melvin. Okay.
Yeah, Melvin's the man.
We'll take all shout outs from other people to us. No, I'm just joking. All right, so last for Scooter Ride Sunday, we have Cameron Correll, and he posted this M365 at Bonita Skate Park. He's at the skate park. Oh,
I'm loving this video.
He's get a helmet, buddy. Always, be safe, but he's
I'm digging it.
I'm sorry.
Awesome. And then this one.
Oh,
yeah.
He has the M365 doing the Heisman on the. That's like a statue, but he's at the skate park. I don't know why it's so funny to me, but yeah, I guess because it's the M365. Like, imagine if you get him like a little bit more beefier scooter. Yeah. What else can he do? But be safe. Put on some gear, wear a helmet. But great video at the same time. And next up for community content, we have Mod Saturdays. That's where people show their accessories, their mods, their upgrades. Paul, we got to get you on this because you can do a lot of mods too. I can't do anything, so this is continuously my favorite part of the show. And first up, we have John Almario, and he has, what is that? A C2 taillights.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
I love the projection on the ground there.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Cool stuff. And there's a great controller on here.
Oh, he has lights
it's all
everywhere.
lit up so you can tell, you can actually find the buttons at night. So that's cool stuff.
Yeah, that's, lights are key. Like, especially if you're riding that at nighttime and people can actually see you coming, and, the cars behind you can see you on the road or wherever you're riding. Beautiful.
Right. And next up, we've got Samuel Morgan. He posted a video of his scooter with beats and lights. He's got a little DMX in the mix here.
R.I.P. to DMX, man. Ride, die, was I really wrong? Big dogs.
Can you tell what kind of speed? Is that a ghost? No.
Nuh-uh.
Can't tell what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it this? I don't know. He has the lights as well, too. Little laser lights. It's cool. Yeah. So, that was pretty cool. And last but not least, we have Francis May Mejia. He posted. Oh, no, she posted. Excuse me. We seen this a couple months back. It's a heavily modified Chem Oxones. And this is from the Philippines. And I think we were questioning, how did they get the blue?
Yeah, we've been wondering about the blue for a while. And she mentions on this one that the decals for both scooters are custom by G-Art. And so we finally solved the mystery of how they got the blue logo on there.
I think they should adopt that blue on that scooter like that.
I agree.
Yeah, because the orange looks pretty cool. But, more colors, more fun.
Yeah.
So, it's nice to see something.
I love blue. I don't know if I could own an orange scooter, to be honest. But, yeah.
Sorry. Would you like purple?
Oh, do we have that button?
I don't. It's gonna take like a long time. Let's just put it down. Oh, that's for for Chuck. I know you're watching.
This is for Chuck.
This is for Chuck. Yeah. So also we have the community content roundup. Some of our favorite content from the week. We're gonna keep it brief, but it was some fun things.
And speaking of Chuck, in honor of the man behind ESG, we found a couple of gems this week. One posted by Adam Maliki, and he said, he says, "I know you've seen Chuck Temple, but did you ever see a Chuck Temple?" And in response, James Johnson posted another photo saying, "Behold the all-knowing wizard inside of the ancient temple," and we get another shot inside, and.
What is it?
There we go.
Oh, he has That's Zordon right there. That's actually pretty funny.
Yeah, you're saying this is from
Power Rangers. Yeah,
which is your ringtone.
Yeah, my ringtone. Hey, ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
Okay, pretty cool. Oh, we have another super chat.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Melvin. There
Melvin.
we go. Shout out back to Nordium.
He said shout out to Hey.
And that's Melvin from Voro Motors. Thank you, Melvin. All right.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, and now let's move on to ESG updates. Okay, so this past week we ultimate Kaabo Mantis comparison. We dropped the video. We got the web review out.
The web review is really good. I just read that one today, and
it's pretty deep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Up. We have another super chat.
This one comes in from Vosk.
And he says,
I had to let it play out.
He says,
he can shout out back to Melvin and Carter.
But he put nine. Hey, keep these. Hey, I'm okay with these shout outs like this.
Yeah, this is fun.
Super chat.
Oh my goodness.
Shout outs.
It's a super chat battle now. This is getting expensive. Carter Nordium with $20. Shout out back to Vosk and Melvin and to Ramir.
Oh, finally.
Yeah.
Hey, we got one shout out for the team.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Generous.
But yeah, so anyway, we also released the Apollo Phantom Shorty. These YouTube shorts is a great way for people who haven't seen our content to get introduced on something short, and then they can go get the full thing. So we have the Apollo Phantom Shorty, and then we also did loading the Kaabo Wolf King into a trunk shorty.
Yeah, and somebody was commenting on that one in the comments on that video is saying, "Hey, didn't Ginger just do this? This video like a week ago?" And we actually did it like a couple times. We did it May 5th of 2020 and February 25th of this year. And this is the first time we've chopped it out and then put it out as its own sort of standalone thing.
Yeah, it's nice. Like I said, if it's multiple people doing the same thing, it's something that is needed. Like, we all have different audiences, but also, people who are looking to buy these things, this can be a question that a roadblock, like, I don't know how I'm going to put this there or, move this into this place. So, these videos are needed. But
yeah. And you can't always find the content in the middle of one of our other videos, so we split it out like that.
Yeah. So, also coming up next, we have the Apollo Air and the Air Pro. I know you tested that last week.
Yeah, we finished the testing, and I'm excited to we'll get the first look out pretty soon, and then we'll get the full review going as well.
Yeah. Also, the Dualtrons are on the way. So when we get these things, we're gonna put out content, ride them. Paul's gonna break them down. We're gonna build them up and see what they're about. And also, what's the last scooter?
The last one is the Nami. It's the Burn E. They call it the Viper when they're developing it, and it's but now they're releasing it as the Bernie, and so that's going to be on its way to us pretty soon. I really can't wait to give that a ride and do some testing on that as well. So it's going to be exciting times here pretty soon.
Cool. All right. And last but not least, we're gonna catch up with
Alex Simon of Scoot America as he scoots his way across America and see where he is now. We got to. Okay. Yeah. And
we have him right here.
All right, there's Alex. Alex, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. How are you guys?
We're doing great. How are you?
Good. I'm doing fantastic. I'm in Buffalo, New York now.
Oh, fantastic. Have you had any trouble so far with the scooters or otherwise?
No, nothing. It's been a phenomenal trip so far.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go into a little bit more detail, but I'm at the Eugene V. Debs Hall. As you can see, I'm at a bar.
Beautiful.
And this is a 1914 saloon that has been closed since 1991 and will be reopening on Labor Day.
Wow.
So our friend Chris has been kind enough to let us stay here for the night. So I got a nice little background for you, but everything's been going great.
Outstanding. I saw that you got caught in the rain, I guess, on day 2. How did that go?
Yeah, it went better than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Second day was...
Which scooters were you on in the rain?
All right, and I took 5 scooters that day,
mm-hmm.
and it rained on pretty much all of them. I took Wolf X, the Kaabo Wolf X. I took the Kaabo Mantis Pro SE. I took the two of the 010X Limited, and I took the Apollo Phantom, and all of them survived the rain. So
Fantastic.
that's a plus. Whether they are rated or not, I'm not sure. But I rode them in the rain. It wasn't pouring; it was drizzling. So I don't suggest you submerge them in water.
Yeah.
But you know, I was safe. You know, they performed admirably.
Fantastic. You know, I haven't had a chance to ride the Wolf X yet. How would you compare that with the Wolf Warrior?
I like it a lot, actually. You know, the Wolf Warrior, you get on it and it just wants to take off, and it's big and bulky, and it has its purposes. But the Wolf X has quickly turned into one of my favorite scooters. It is so nimble. It is, you know, it's still got really good range. It has really good torque. I really, really like it. And it's usually the scooter I start my day on to just get me going and before I get onto the bigger boys. But I like it a lot.
Fantastic. And how many miles are you covering in a day so far?
Well, every day I've been averaging about 120
Nice.
for the first 3 days. Today was the fourth day. I only did about 80. The toughest day by far was yesterday. I started, it was 30 degrees outside. And as you guys know, especially you, Paul, you ride motorcycles.
Yeah.
When you're, you know, out in the wind, it goes even colder. So I was, the only word to describe it is miserable for most of the day. My hands were freezing all day. It was not fun. It got, you know, probably into the mid 40s at the end of the day. So it was tough.
That's
it was worse than riding in the rain.
Yeah.
But, you know, I made it through, and today was just beautiful. Today was an amazing day.
Fantastic. Glad to hear it's gotten better. Well, we'll keep it short. We're going to keep checking in with you every week as you make your way across the country, and we're looking forward to seeing more updates from you as you make your way along.
We have a
absolutely. It's an amazing trip. Ramir, any questions?
no, I don't have any. Well, I have a few, I guess. But let's start off with a super chat. Let me get these super chats out the way. So we get Jumpy Frog $2. He says shout out to everybody. Ignordium, he says big shout out to Alex. Let's do this. You know, he's pumped like the rest of us. You know, you on your journey. Also, one more from Melvin. He says shout out to Paul and Raymir. Thank you, Melvin.
Thank you, Melvin.
So my thing to you is, you know, it's a picture of you and Kim Richmond. I think that's she's a frequent watcher of the show, and she supports everything. And we got these pictures of you going on your trip. Are you nervous?
Yeah.
Have you any part of the trip has made you nervous? That's the only question I have.
Not really. You know, the first day was the toughest because I was coming out of Boston and there was a lot of traffic, and a lot of these roads don't have bike lanes or even shoulders. So literally, guys, I was riding and there's cars like just coming within inches of me. It was, you know, it got me a little nervous. But once I got out of, you know, outside of Boston and the city, it was much better. Upstate New York, Finger Lakes, just beautiful. Today was the first day I actually got to meet some of the ESG group members. I met Kim Richmond. We went out on a ride. She's such a fun lady.
Yeah.
Got her to go 38 miles an hour on her Apollo Explorer today. She had never been that fast.
Let's go.
So I pushed her and put her through her limits, and it was super fun. I met Matt Yoakum. I met him in Lancaster, New York, earlier today as well. So it's becoming more and more fun. Now I'll start seeing some of the group members and riding together with people. So today was by far the best day, especially because I got to meet some of the fans, and it's been fun.
Oh, that's great.
That's something I just really hadn't thought about until today. We saw the pictures today. Is that as you cross the United States, we're just going to get to meet through you so many of our fans that we really haven't got to see before. So it's a whole new thing that I'm looking forward to seeing as you make your way across. As other people joining you for your ride, and for those who want to follow along and find out where you're going to be, there are links in many different places in our forum. We have a link to follow your glimpse, which shows your current location anytime. But then I think you said your Facebook is your best place, the Scoot America Facebook page?
Yeah, the facebook.com/02epic is the best place to follow the trip. And all the other links, Glimpse, the GoFundMe, which is still alive. So if you guys want to donate and help with the trip, that'll be awesome. It's also on there. So everything, that's the first place to go. And then from there, you can find my Instagram, TikTok, and whatnot. But I cannot stress enough, if anybody wants to join me, if you live along Route 20 or can make it to historic Route 20, all the way to Newport, Oregon, please. The first 3 days I was all by myself, other than Brian, who was my support crew. And by the way, I cannot say enough about this guy. He's just a saint. He's become my audio guy, video guy, shrink, confidant, best friend, driver.
And he's a
Route
20 historian, right?
Yes, he knows Route 20 better than anyone else in the world. So he knows this road. So every time I say, you know what, I got 10 more miles of range on the scooter, he'll say, okay, I'll meet you at Jonathan's Pizzeria, which is 10 miles from here.
So good. You're eating all the best food the whole way, aren't you?
Oh, I am. And this guy knows his food. So we only eat at the best restaurants. Occasionally we'll have to stop at a McDonald's, but he is amazing, and he's been a lifesaver. So it's him and I. But as I was saying, when I write, it's just me, right? Yeah. And it gets really, really lonely. It's just me and my thoughts. I don't listen to any music or podcasts or anything. So it's just me thinking and overthinking and trying to find the meaning of life. So today, when I had Kim with me, it was such a pleasure to have her along, and meeting people. So if anybody wants to join me, I know there's more people coming, and in Chicago I have people, in Cleveland and Erie, Pennsylvania. I would love to have you guys join me. I'll slow down. So some people are worried, well, he's going to be going too fast. No, I'll ride 15, 20 miles an hour. We'll go for 10, 15 miles or however long these people can join me. I'll just be happy to have anyone. Just send me a message on Facebook, follow me on Glimpse, just intersect me as I'm coming, through your part of town, and let's go.
Okay. Well, before you get out here, David Voss sent a super chat, and he says, best of luck, Alex Simon. Stay safe, brother. That's from David Voss.
Thank you, David. I appreciate it.
Oh, we got one more super chat, too. Shout out to Chuck. I'm still waiting on a best pickleball plays montage video. That's Nordium sent that to Chuck. Chuck is in the comments, so Chuck, Chuck will have it, have his answer. But thank you again, Alex. What you're doing is great. We commend you, and I'm also jealous that you get to meet all these great people. Like, we watch the show, and we're on the show, we see the comments, but you actually get to meet these people. Kim Richmond, everybody else on the trip. Like Paul said, I'm looking forward that we get to meet the community through you. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And lastly, a shout out to my friends from the Philippines. I know they're going to be on the show today, wearing their Turismo hat, their shirt that they sent me all the way from the Philippines. So representing. Thank you, guys.
Outstanding. Cool. Well, thanks so much for joining us. We really look forward to seeing your updates every week.
Sounds good. I appreciate the support.
See you next week.
Right. See you.
See you guys.
All right, so that's a fantastic new segment we're going to be able to do every week as we follow Alex across the country. Another new segment we've got is the ESG Forums Post of the Week. And so this week, it's a new feature where we've got our new forum, which you can find from through our website. If you go to community, it's one of the links there. And then it's a great place to ask questions, get access to myself and Justin and Chuck, and ask questions. This week, the question we're highlighting is someone had a post where they're asking about hydraulic brakes versus non-hydraulic brakes. And he said he was trying to decide if it was worth waiting for and paying for hydraulic brakes, or just to pull the trigger and get something that was available sooner that had cable-based brakes. And so we just kind of summed it all up, and the pros and the cons. I mean, the big summary was, it's beautiful riding weather. Just get something, get what you can get now and go out and ride. I mean, ultimately you can upgrade later. There are lots of, pros and cons, mostly pros to hydraulics. You've got better feel and modulation, a little less tiring for your hands, less tweaking on a daily basis. And, of course, they're cool. The cons would be they cost a little more. They're not field serviceable. And that's one I didn't think of until recently. It's like if you're outside and something does break on your brakes, you can't just bleed your hydraulic brakes in the field. And it's more of an issue for like mountain bikers when they crash, wad it in some rocks or something and tear up one of their brakes. Now they've got one brake the rest of the way home. And you do need to really recommend owning a bleed kit if you're going to have hydraulic brakes. And then sometimes it can be harder to diagnose. You can have stuff going on and you're not really sure what it is. I've got one right now that's got a bad master cylinder, and I bled it, and just the master cylinder is just bad. So it took a while to kind of figure that one out. pros of the mechanical brakes that we discussed is, cost and availability. Right now, in particular, there are a lot of hydraulic brakes that are kind of hard to come by. And so, we're waiting a little bit longer, easier to service, and you still get great braking. Our Ghost, we got 10.6 feet stopping distance from 15 miles per hour on our Apollo Ghost, which is, a well-tuned set of mechanical disc brakes can stop, really close to as well as a set of hydraulic brakes. And then finally, cons of the mechanical brakes is, it takes a little more hand strength. If you're doing a long ride and a lot of stop and go, your hands can get a little more tired. And it does take a little more frequent tuning to keep them in top shape. But in any case, I'd say get whatever you can that lets you get out and ride sooner, because it's definitely scooter riding season, or at least here anyway. So that's our little summary of what's going on in the forum, or at least our post of the week. And we've got other things going on there. They've got a thread going about tonight's show about racing. So if you want to chat later on about tonight's show, that's a great place to continue the discussion. And you can share your own experiences, start your own thread about kind of whatever you want to know about or whatever you want to talk about. So if you haven't signed up, you can log in using your Facebook. Anyway, it's just an easy way to talk to us all. Anyway, we'll move on now. And now it's time for the deal of the week. All right, the deal of the week is from Voro Motors, and this week's deal is on the Kaabo Wolf Warrior, which is fitting because that's one of the most raced scooters in the world right now. And you can follow the link in the video description, and the discount code is Electric Scooter Guide 50 for $50 off of an already very good price. And now it's time for a commercial break, sponsored by Voro Motors.
That was fire. I like that. The edit was pretty good. So, if you've been following the show, we've been getting a ton of awesome content from the Philippines for a while now. We saw that Kaabo Philippines dominated the racing scene there at Carmona, the track this weekend. Well, not this weekend, but, the past weeks. And, because of the time difference, Paul did a great interview with these guys. When was this, yesterday?
Yeah, it was yesterday, and we caught up with Eugene Martinez, who's the owner and distributor and racing team manager for Kaabo in the Philippines, along with our Espiritu and Jomar Tariman. And then we put this interview together. Richie edited it. And it's got just a ton of great footage. It's all footage from the Philippines, which is they really are kind of leading the way on the racing scene right now for electric scooters. And so yeah, let's go ahead and check out the interview. We're joined now from the Philippines by Eugene Martinez, owner and distributor and racing team manager of Kaabo Philippines, and two scooter racing champions, RR Espiritu, who's the first place winner on a Kaabo Wolf King, and Jomar Tariman, racer and second place winner on the Wolf Warrior X. Thank you so much, guys, for waking up early to talk with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll start off.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll start off with some questions for RR Espiritu, who took first on the Wolf King. RR, you're a former 150cc motorcycle racing champion. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. And what's the biggest difference in switching from the 150cc motorcycle to the electric scooter? What was the biggest difference for you?
Aside from the standing position on scooters, the biggest difference is the torque on the dual motor. It is very challenging, especially on the corners.
Yeah.
You, you really have to control the acceleration and establish a good riding style to run it smoothly.
Yeah. So yeah, I imagine just the acceleration at the corners and just watching out for spinning the front tire, I guess. So I see that you run slick tires on the Wolf. Do the tires need to warm up a bit before they start working, or do they stick right as soon as you go out on the racetrack? Like, do you have to do a warm up lap first?
Slick tires works very well in the racetrack compared to regular tire.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to warm up to improve traction.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense, because I know when I was racing motorcycles, that was a big deal. Until they were warm, the slick tires didn't really grip as well as the regular tires. And then, yeah, you mentioned the torque was an issue on the electric scooter. Is it tricky keeping the front wheel from spinning when you're exiting corners?
Yeah, you really have to master the spinning wheel when you're cornering.
Have you had any big crashes? I saw that both of you were on the injured list there for a little while. Have you had any big crashes on the electric scooters, and what caused them, if you did?
Unfortunately, yes. I did crash while we were practicing in Carmona racetrack.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a week before the race.
Oh, wow.
I pressed the throttle too early while approaching the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And also I was not yet using slick tires that time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you weren't using slick tires and it lost traction exiting the corner?
Yeah, I pressed the throttle early.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, that would be that. I've being a racer myself, I know that this getting on the throttle as you're exiting a corner is one of the trickiest things to do, and that's just with one tire, the rear wheel driving you. And I can imagine with the front wheel, that's got to be really, really tricky. Is timing getting on the acceleration. Well, great. Well, thank you so much, RR, and we'll move on to Jomar now. Jomar, can you hear me?
Hi, sir.
Can you hear me, Jomar?
Yes, sir.
All right, great. So I understand you are a freestyle scooter rider. Had you ever done motor racing before now?
No, I haven't done motor racing before. This was actually my first time to race.
Fantastic. Is that you? In one of the video clips, I see somebody doing a wheelie down the front straightaway. Is that you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured that would make sense.
I have tried all of them, but I feel more comfortable with Wolf Warrior X.
Yeah.
Maybe because I'm using manual scooter, which is very lightweight and easy to handle.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, I was just going to ask what your favorite scooter is to ride on the racetrack. He says you like the Wolf X the best?
Yes, I like the Wolf X.
Nice. And then do you know how the top speed of the Wolf X compares with the Wolf Warrior on the track?
We have not really used the maximum speed on the racetrack because we need to brake on every corners.
Yeah.
But as for the power and speed, it's more just enough for me.
Mm-hmm. What was the hardest thing to learn when you first started racing electric scooters?
The hardest part is to enter and exit with a speed.
Mm-hmm.
Our practice has improved my skills and I gained confidence on the racetrack.
Nice. And then I guess you and RR were both on the injured list for a little bit. Have you had some big crashes on the scooter as well?
I crashed a few times, but mostly on curbs, but it's not big, just enough for me to learn my mistakes.
Great. And is it mostly on the exits or the entrances to the corners?
Yes.
Exits.
The exits, yeah. Yeah, for sure. That makes sense. Great. Anything else you want to share with us about your racing experience?
I would like to thank first my boss and the Kaabo Racing Team family for the opportunity and support, and for the trainings and practices. If not because of them, I wouldn't have the chance to experience racing and winning the race. I would also like to thank my family and friends for the support and encouragement.
Yeah, it looks like you've got a great team over there. Cool. Well, thank you very much, Jomar, and we will switch over to Eugene Martinez now, the owner and distributor and racing team manager for Kaabo Philippines. How are you, Eugene?
Hi, Paul. I'm good, thank you.
Good. So, yeah, can you give us a little history on yourself and Kaabo and how you got into running a racing team?
We acquired Kaabo dealership last June 2019. So we're returning to now. And with the community of electric scooters in the Philippines, we somehow thought of, how about let's try to do it on a racetrack? I mean, I've seen a lot of people doing some tests on their maximum speed. So we thought of a way how to do it safely. So last December, we formed an event that will somehow let the riders or our users to experience and basically know the ins and outs of using the electric scooters on the racetrack. And that's where we started liking it and making serious runs and basically planning everything after we heard about that there will be a formal race which is organized here in the Philippines.
Fantastic. Yeah, you guys are really kind of leading the way. We've been watching eagerly to see racing progress, and it really seems like you guys are out in front and doing the most racing right now. Do you get out on the track yourself and race, or mainly are you behind the scenes?
I tried it during that event, and from time to time during practice, I try it. I somehow practice what I'm trying to teach them. But basically, I'm not really a racer. I just learn from watching movies, documentaries about it. But it's really a group effort on what we achieve. So we just gather all the strategies that we think that will help them hone their skills.
Fantastic. And then is there just one big class for racing scooters, or are they separated out by like scooter size or intermediate expert levels of experience?
Since we are new in the racing community, the organizers gave us only one class.
Yeah.
So regardless of the size, of the weight, and experience of the rider, we are just compressed, or we're just using one category for the racing.
And do you think you'll get into at this point? So it sounds like you're one class among a larger organization. Do you think are you going to have sort of dedicated electric scooter weekends at some point?
Hopefully, but with the pandemic protocols right now, we really can't do events, and actually even the practices were now limited to just stay at the home. But hopefully, as the community grows, we are looking forward that the organizers will have more, or they'll consider the categories of the bigger scooters or the level of experience from the riders.
Nice. And then I see a real mixture of scooters out there. How do you decide which scooters to race instead of just like running all the fastest, like all Wolf Kings?
Yes, actually, we've tried almost all models of scooters. I mean, of course, basically the 60 volts and the 72 volts versions. But we did a preliminary run, or we opened a tryout before we really decided on which scooter to use. And using those runs, using those speed tests, or basically just looking at how the riders handle the scooters, that's where we decided on this one fits, the Wolf X fits Jomar, the Wolf King fits RR, and the other riders as well. So it's basically on how they handle it and how they control the speed of the scooters.
Yeah, that makes sense. I did an endurance race one time where it was a 400cc endurance race, but we were all used to running 250cc scooters, and we found out our lap times were actually faster on the 250 just because we were used to it, and so we ended up running the 250 in the 400 class and took third, so that all worked out. Is the suspension on your scooters, do you use just the stock suspension or do you modify it?
We modified the rear suspension, actually. We made it stiff. So we adjusted the level of the spring. So we even actually replaced the bolts to a shorter one to make it really stiff. Because actually because this is really new to every one of us. So we're kind of doing the testing, and so when we first run the scooter in the racetrack, we saw that the suspensions are really not helping in terms of speed, in terms of handling, especially on the curbs. So we adjust from time to time on which setting will work best. So as for the suspension, it has to be really stiff. It has to, if you can remove the suspension or the springs, that would be better.
Wow. Something I noticed on our Wolf scooters is there is very little fork oil inside the forks. I actually just added some fork oil to our Wolf, and I'm going to try it on the Wolf King pretty soon, and it really added more damping to the front end. I feel like they didn't quite put enough fork oil in there to really make it work as a shock absorber, and it's just more in there to lubricate things. So something to try. I'm going to try some 5-weight. I'm going to try some 10-weight next. So I'll be curious to see how that works. Are the brakes modified or are those stock?
They're stock, but we removed the electronic brake. Actually, at first, we tried to turn off or to put the setting of the electronic brake into the lowest mode, but there's still delay. I mean, it doesn't really shut down the electronic brake. And as for our experience, the brake should be just to be on the caliper, not on the electronic brakes when you use it on the racetrack. It's more safer because there will be a throttle delay when even if you set the PA setting to number 0 or to the weakest mode, there will still be throttle delay. So it's better or it's best to just remove the connectors of the brake sensors to make the run more smoothly.
Oh, that's a great idea. So you just disconnect the brake light switches from the handles, and then it just doesn't activate the regenerative brakes at all.
Right.
That's really smart.
Yes, and it gives more freedom to the rider. I mean, in terms of changing the throttle to brakes. That's really important in the racetrack.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Regen brakes, for me, I always set it at maybe number 1 out of 5, the really, really low, and just, the more direct control you can have on the racetrack, the better. So, wow, that's a great idea. Never thought about unplugging the brake light switches. Let's see. Oh, how many weekends, I don't know if you've run that many weekends yet, but can you tell how many weekends you get out of a set of brake pads at this point?
Actually, we just replace everything on the race day. So, of course, we try when we started practicing, we had new brake pads.
Yeah.
And then on the race day itself, we changed it to brand new just to make sure that it will stop when they hit the brakes. So as far as the range or the number of days on when it will last, we're really not sure yet of that.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. How about the tires? What are your favorite tires for the Wolf King? Do you like the slicks or the treaded tires better?
For the racetrack, it's really the slick tires.
Yeah.
We tried actually both. The regular tires. Actually, we tried 3 set of tires. Okay, the first one is the stock. It doesn't. It's not working well on the curves. The second one, we bought second to slick tires. I mean, it still has the grooves, but still the traction is not that. It's not that better compared to the slick tires. And then so we invested and tried the slick tires. And when RR and Jomar tested it, they said it's the best in terms of traction, in terms of grip. So we decided, okay, let's just invest on the slick tires. So it's just a trial and error thing for us.
Yeah, well, that's the great thing about racing. It really lets you know right away what works best and what doesn't. Are they the PMT brand tires that you're using, or is this something else?
It's something else.
Okay.
It looks like the PMT.
Uh-huh.
I'm having a hard time to purchase it abroad. So I tried to look it online. So I found something that's really, really similar. I really don't know the difference, but it's a different brand.
And then I noticed the Wolf X in the photos wasn't running slicks. Is that where there's slicks not available, or you just like the other ones better for the Wolf X?
Yeah, there's no slick tires for 10 inches, unfortunately. So
Okay.
the best we can use is the 10 by 3 by 12 tires.
And then are those the stock ones, or are those the second set that you guys checked out that have a little bit of tread?
Yes, that's the latest tires from Kaabo.
Okay. Cool. And let's see. Oh, how about the motor controllers? Do you guys end up modifying those, or are you able to run the stock ones without worrying about burning them out?
Yes, we were using the stock ones because we wanted really to push whatever is in the scooter.
Nice.
We just because actually in the racetrack, it's really you really cannot utilize the maximum speed of the scooter because you just keep on hitting the brakes when you reach the curve.
Yeah.
And there's like you can probably hit around 70 kilometers per hour on a straight road, but after a while you'll be turning. So we really cannot utilize the maximum speed because of those curves. So it's really the skill that we're after too. And according to the riders, the most challenging really is the wiggle of the front handlebar. So I even tried them. I even asked them to try the Mantis and the other single stem scooters that we have, and they said it's not gonna work. It's they're having a hard time controlling the handlebars, and that's why we said that it should really be the Wolf Warrior to be on the racetrack.
Yeah.
It's more safe.
Yeah. And so you're having a wiggle on the Wolf Warrior as well?
Not really. Not really. They can control it easily compared to the single stem.
Yeah.
So
do they use?
They're more happy with that.
Yeah. Do they use steering dampers on the Wolves?
Sorry, again.
Oh, do they use a damper on the steering of the Wolf, like a little shock absorber that slows down the steering?
Yeah, the steering damper. No. We did not use any steering damper.
Nice. That's great. I mean, the less hardware you have to use, the better. And
yes,
and
we somehow remove almost all accessories in the scooter. So just to
I noticed that.
Try to make it lightweight.
Yeah, I noticed you still have the side stands on them though. I guess that's handy for for parking them. But have you thought about removing the side stands as well?
Oh, during the race we removed the side stand. Actually, it's just we just loosen up the bolt in the side stand just for picture purposes.
Nice.
We just install it there. But during the race, there's no side stand.
That makes sense. Yeah, it's a lot of weight. And I know my race bike when we raced, we didn't have them on there at all. So I guess that's another advantage. You're mentioning you're not running regen brakes, but it's another advantage to not using the regen is that would also heat up your motor controllers a bit. So that's going to help keep things cool. So
yes, exactly.
Cool. Are there any other? You guys are sort of leading the way with your race team. Are there any other big race teams out there that you're competing against?
Yes. We are actually surprised to see a few of them on the race day, and of course they're representing their own brands.
Yeah.
And everyone is really happy during that day, and we're fortunate to be in the same racetrack with them. And it's a friendly competition, so it's really a good sport for the electric scooters, I think.
Fantastic. And then how does everybody, is recharging a problem, or is there just always enough time in between practice and racing that your racers get to go out with a full charge?
In the racetrack, we are able to rent a paddock. So we have like a certain room for the team. So during practices, we really need to charge from time to time, but we use those time to plan, to rest, to eat. But during the race, there's enough time to charge. So we didn't have any problem in terms of the electrical outlet. There's a lot inside the paddock, so it's electric scooter friendly.
Nice. Yeah, I was just thinking about that. So a lot of these racetracks weren't necessarily built with having that in mind of using a lot of electricity, but it's great that you're able to make it work. Let's see. And then, so the racers pretty much always get to go out with a full charge then?
Yes, but
Nice.
during practice, no, not every time.
Yeah.
Because we really cannot push the battery too much because, of course, it will heat up the battery. We don't want to spoil the battery as well because we're only using one scooter for same with the practice and the actual race.
Mm-hmm. Great. And then how long are the races?
10 minutes for each leg.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 3 legs. First is just the practice run.
Mm-hmm.
Second would be the qualifying round where you get the number spot. So you have to get the best time. The best time gets the number 1 spot in the track.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third one is the actual race.
Nice.
So probably around 10 minutes per each leg.
Mm-hmm. And then I guess right now it sounds like you guys are shut down again right now because of COVID.
Yes. Unfortunately, we're still in restricted protocols right now.
So prior to that, what was your schedule looking like for 2021? How many races were you planning to do?
We are just basing it on the organizer's schedule.
Mm-hmm.
They actually had plans for May, but we're still waiting if that will push through. Okay. And according to them, based on our first run, they plan to do it on a monthly basis. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, the restrictions on the COVID protocols are still enforced. So we're still waiting until the number of cases goes down.
I see. And then I see that you're running at Carmona. That's your main track?
Yes, but in the Philippines, I think we have 3 large racetracks. So the very first one is in Carmona. Mm-hmm. But we still have 2 other locations that they can organize.
Cool. So do you think you'll get to those other ones this year as well?
Hopefully. They are bigger ones, actually. The smallest is the Carmona. Next there's San Batangas, and then there's another one in Clark. So that's where the big bikes and the car races are being held.
Fantastic. We'll look forward to seeing video from there as well. And now it sounds like you do quite a bit of riding. Looking at your profile on Facebook and some other places on YouTube, you do quite a bit of riding off the track as well. And you've got an event called Turismo that's been going on. Tell us about that?
Turismo is actually very similar to what Zero to Epic is doing. Because since the pandemic started, we saw a lot of electric scooter users, or we see a lot of commuters converting to electric scooters. But unfortunately, not all of them were aware that they should use safety gear, that they should use the bike lanes or follow traffic rules, because it's their first time riding their own personal mobility. So we felt the need that we should educate everyone and be a good example to the community. That's why we thought of, how about we just go around the Philippines, let's use the tourism, promote electric scooters or the clean air mobility, and show them how it should be used by wearing the proper safety gear, by just following or using the bike lanes, and basically just telling everyone that there's an alternative mode of transportation which is available already in the Philippines. So Turismo is actually geared towards that. Aside from our advocacy to have a clean air transportation, we wanted to promote it as to educate everyone how to use the electric scooters in the streets.
Fantastic. And so you're sort of going, I think I saw the map, it's sort of going like south to north across the Philippines.
Yes. We tried, actually we started, or our kickoff started in the Metro Manila, which is the busiest city in the country. But we were stopped because due to pandemic, there are a lot of restrictions in going to provinces.
Sure.
So what we're trying to do right now is just to do some challenge like what we did in Laguna Loop. We tried to ride for 200 kilometers in 10 hours time.
Wow.
So while waiting for the restrictions to ease down, we're trying to challenge ourselves in terms of riding a longer range in a limited time, just to, of course, basically just to warm up and try to set records for the community.
Yeah. And then when things do open up again, I guess, I mean, there's a lot of water in between the islands out there. Do you, would the idea be that you would ride end to end and then you grab a ferry and then continue on the next island?
Yeah. Yes, that's the plan. And that's the
fantastic.
most exciting part. Yes.
Yeah, I just love that idea. Like anytime you combine a scooter with other forms of transportation, whether it be scooters and trains, scooters and ferries, it just so fun because then you get to take a break and look around a little bit, and then get back on the scooter. Can you charge on the ferries?
No, but we'll be. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
If they will allow us.
Yeah.
But we are bringing extra batteries,
Nice.
extra battery packs,
Yeah.
just to make sure that we'll be full charge by the time we reach another island.
Cool. And then is there other community outreach activities that you and Kaabo Philippines have been doing?
Yes, we actually did since the start of the pandemic. We've been looking for an LG or the local government to offer our electric scooters for their transport mobility. And luckily, one of our caborcads, one of our users, is a retired colonel, and he introduced us to AFP, to the general. So he said, yeah, they need something to move around the camp, just to bring, things for the checkpoint, and so just not to use car inside their camp. So we offered the electric scooters, and they were very happy to try it. And actually, as a matter of fact, after lending it to them, some of them bought new units for their personal use.
Oh, fantastic. Wow. Well, we're just so excited to see everything you guys are doing with racing over there. We're going to keep following it. Every time you guys put out another video, we just watch the whole thing. We just love watching it, and really looking forward to seeing what you do with racing. And, hopefully at some point when things calm down a little bit, we can get over there ourselves. And I would love to get out on the racetrack and do a few laps. So, but thank you so much for coming on the show today, and for getting up early and joining us on the show.
Thank you, Paul. Can I just thank a few people?
Yes, please.
Okay. Yes, I'd just like to thank ESG for, of course, inviting us to the show and sharing our experience for the racing. And we owe this to our Kaabo racing team, from the technical crew to the marketing to the riders. Thank you guys for supporting the whole journey. And to the electric scooter community in the Philippines and worldwide, especially special mention to ESCOP, or the Electric Scooter Club of the Philippines, to EKSPH, and to, of course, to our beloved caborcads. Thank you for always supporting, and just ride safe always, and put that safety gear all the time.
Absolutely. And you guys have put on an amazing effort. You guys got an amazing team over there. And I recommend to all of our viewers, if you haven't checked it out yet, go check out some of the Kaabo Philippines racing effort, some of their videos, because they've got some great videos on where they're training the new scooter riders and a lot of awesome track footage. So it's definitely worth having a look. Thank you again so much for coming on the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
All right.
Oh, that was a lot to unpack.
And we're back.
Yeah, you guys did good job on that. Great job. Great interview. I'm loving these.
Thanks
I think
a
there's
lot.
2 weeks in a row. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Anyway, it was so much fun talking to Eugene. And after the call, we actually chatted a little bit longer, and he was talking about all the training that they're doing. There's a lot of behind the scenes. You could see there's a small racetrack that shows up in some of the video where they're doing a lot of training, and that's been really important, because it's like they're finding out nobody's raced before in scooters, and you just throw a bunch of people on the racetrack and try to race. They end up running into each other, a lot of crashes. So they're really having to get some training going on, and so they're really focused on the safety side. So it's really really happy to hear about that. One of the things that really surprised me was Jomar talking about how he was able to go faster on a smaller scooter.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was, oh no, it's gonna be all Wolf Kings, but then you see like, wait, this Wolf X is doing fine, and there's some other smaller ones because the tracks are fairly small and tight, and so it's not always like the biggest scooter wins out there when you've got a tight racetrack. So that was kind of fun. I was also really surprised when he's talking about no suspension is better than like if they could have no suspension at all, it'd actually be better. He thought than the
that was
stock
a
suspension.
shocker.
Yeah, well, and it's funny because of the e-scooter championship, the ESC guys, they're running no suspension too, which I was like, no way. But I think if you had really good suspension, I still think it'd be better than no suspension. I think it's just that when you've got a kind of a street-based suspension, then it's it's just not ideal.
Yeah, like last week with the e-skate thing, they had the little small scooter, but you got to crouch down, no suspension. I don't know. Maybe we'll have to ride it and race for them to see.
I hope we'll get a chance to. I think we'll get a chance to ride the e-scooter championship scooter at some point, and that'd be pretty fun.
That'd be pretty gnarly.
It sounds like they're going to invite us out to when they do a demo ride in the Midwest somewhere, and I'm really looking forward to that. So, and then the other thing that really surprised me was that they disconnected the brake light switches to keep the regen completely off. This is something I definitely don't recommend doing this on the street for a couple of reasons. One, you lose your brake light, and people can't tell that you're on the brakes. Two, it allows you to hit the throttle and the brakes at the same time, which could you could really crash quickly doing that. And then it's just it's just generally a bad idea. Yeah. But on the racetrack, it did allow them to, I think there are two things. One, it gave them better direct control over the brakes. But the other one was it was causing a delay when they went to get back on the throttle, because when you touch the brakes on an electric scooter, it cuts the throttle. It prevents you from being able to do both at the same time. But there's also a little bit of a delay going from brake to throttle, and back. And they eliminated that delay by unplugging the switches on there, which I thought was really clever. But anyway, yeah, super fun, and I'm looking forward to seeing what those guys do next.
Yeah, that's Do you think we're gonna get something like that out here?
I think they're just little
up to the standards.
Yeah, no. Well, it'll be a while. I think it'll be a while. Right now, Apple Valley Speedway down in Southern California, they've got a race coming up Saturday, May 8th. That I probably won't attend, but it's a smaller sort of thing, and but so far the Philippines are just doing it bigger than everybody else. But I think when the e-scooter championship gets going, that's going to be worldwide, and so they'll hopefully have some events all over Europe and in the U.S. and some other places too. So
okay, cool. Before we get into this commercial, for our friends at Urban Machina, Turning 5 has been a blast. Promos for the Evolve, VSET, the EnoCam scooters, they actually end on April 30th, which is this Friday. So, here's a commercial break recapping those deals, and we're going to go into Micromobility news right after. So check this out. Da, 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 da.
Da, da, da.
Micromobility news.
All right. So this week in Micromobility news, we had special presidential envoy John Kerry posted a high-profile climate high-profile climate summit at the White House low-profile ride back home, and he's on a Lime scooter here. I'm sure that suit costs about 5 times as much as that scooter, probably a little more than that. But pretty cool to see him out there scooting along, even if he's not wearing a helmet.
Okay. All right, this one is funny. Check this out. So a man in Bristol, England, he wakes up to find 100 e-scooters piled outside his lawn. Over 100 void shared scooters were left parked outside his house. You know, homeowner Shane Clark, he believes they were left there when other designated parking areas were taken off the Void app. So, you know, his house is conveniently next to the park. People ride their scooters there, throw it in front of his, you know, they see one scooter, you're thinking like, oh, this must be a Void parking spot. Let's just throw my scooter right here.
Well, and then the way that the sharing companies set up their parking sometimes is the local government will restrict them to only be able to park in a certain zone. And if you just then sort of delete the nearby zones or some accident happens or you just underplan how many people are going to go where, then you get something like that guy's got there. So.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'll be. If I wake up and I see all that, I'm mad.
I would immediately sign up to be a scooter charger and see if I could make like $5 a head for bringing them all inside the garage and charging them and putting them back down.
You know, that's pretty cool. You know, $5 times 100.
Yeah,
pretty penny.
And the next one up, we've got a video. And this is electric scooters winding up in the Sacramento River. Crazy. And, you know, back when I worked for Lime, and that is a Lime scooter right there. There's also, I think, we see a spin in the water in a minute. But that was, it was kind of a problem. A lot of scooters used to end up in Lake Merritt. In fact, there's a zone, if you look on the Lime map, that keeps people kind of a certain distance from the water. You can't actually ride it. You know, it'll stop going if you get kind of close to the water. Because just to prevent that sort of thing
they're responsible, right? The companies themselves.
Yeah, they have to go fish them out. I mean, literally, like all the scooter companies, you'll find grappling hooks like in a closet somewhere, like a rope and a grappling hook.
Oh, really?
And you just they call it going fishing, and you just go out and you like hook the hook in and you pull it out. They talk about bringing divers in, but if it's close to shore, you just huck and drag and pull them out.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Fishermen at Lime scooters.
Yeah.
But okay. You know, we have some charts, some graphs right here, and it's actually talking about how much micromobility is already in use. So with over 300 million electric bicycles in China, over 230 million two-wheelers in India, 72 million bicycles in Japan, 40 million in Brazil, over 100 in the USA. You know, it's just, you know, micromobility and micro vehicles are just using more, you know, more than cars. And it makes sense, you know. Like I think I might have, we mentioned it last week, and I mention it every single day. When I'm coming to work, as the months go by, I see more and more people on scooters and just different PEVs, and it's just, you know, it's just growing.
Yeah, every day. Every day I see them.
So?
And a year ago, I thought it was just the pandemic. I thought, okay, we're just getting an explosion. People are bored. You know, people want a private way of getting around. So, you know, we're having this scooter explosion. But this year, it's even more than last year. So it's really encouraging that now that we're, you know, almost post-pandemic, that things are still really flying along. The one number that I wonder about, they say 100 million in the U.S. There's no way there's 100 million e-bikes. So they must be counting also like regular pedal bikes. Yeah, so you boosted that number by one recently. Yeah. I'm
the big one.
Yeah.
All right.
What bike is it that you have?
I have a giant Cypress DX hybrid bike. You know, it's a road /
It's like Shimano Dior XT. Do you know what's on there?
I don't know. You know, I'm not a bike person yet.
I'm a gear guy. Just like
I don't know yet. I'll bring it to work. I'll bring a bike to work.
Yeah.
One day.
Yeah, I'd like to see it. All right. And then let's see. Micromobility America is taking place at September 23rd at Pier 70 in San Francisco. This is a big annual conference just all about micromobility. The Sherry guys are, you know, they all show up, of course, and there's all kinds of great little seminars and things you can go to. The normal price is like $300 to get in, but we've got an ESG discount that'll get you in for $255. So there you go. And I'm not sure how follow our blog link, and that's how you get that discount. So there we go.
Cool. And industry news, just like the commercial you guys just seen, Urban Machina is celebrating We're Turning 5 WTF anniversary this month, and it's over on the 30th. So you can use all these codes. So they're offering discounts on the Evolve Pro and OXO. You know, use code WTF Pro R for $242 off. And you can see it right here. It's all on the screen. They got the V-set on there, and the V-set, you know, for June delivery. But all promos in on April 30th. So, I hope we get some of these scooters.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to. Hopefully, we'll get our hands on a set We can finally get those reviews done that everybody's asking us for.
Yeah.
So, fingers
Yeah,
crossed.
we don't have every scooter in the world, but we try. So,
Yeah.
all right. We love our Facebook community, so now it's time for the Facebook giveaway, Jinx.
All right, and today's Facebook giveaway is for a Soman helmet from Voro Motors. Thank you very much, Melvin from Voro Motors, for contributing this helmet. It is a DOT certified Soman helmet. It comes in XL or XXL, so hopefully you've got a big head, whoever wins this one. And it's a U.S. shipping only on this one.
U.S. shipping.
And thanks again, Melvin, for the helmet. All right, so we've got our new randomizer. We're going to spin the big wheel and see who comes up. Oh,
5,
4,
4, 3, 2, 1.
Spin.
It's like, what is it, Wheel of Fortune?
Yeah.
You know, when you get like 85 cents, and then 35 cents the next.
All right, Keith Clemens.
Keith
you
Clemens,
are the winner.
you got it. Listen, where's the hooray? There you go, Keith.
Keith
You did it.
Clemens. All right, David Bosk will be in touch with you, Keith, and he will get that helmet out to you. And thanks again to Voro Motors for the helmet. That's awesome.
Yeah, so you know, it was a cool show. You know, we missed Chuck.
We made it. We made it, Ramir.
We did it.
Woo.
We did it. I thought I was gonna pass out. I'm so nervous. My chair is so wet.
Yeah.
But you know, every single week we have the best fans and best viewers of all time.
We love you guys. Chuck will be back next week.
Yeah, Chuck will be back next week. And you know, keep subscribe to our channel, hit that bell for notifications because we got videos dropping like crazy.
And thanks again, everybody, for the super chat. That was really over the top today. We love you guys and we really appreciate it.
All right.
We out.
And we're out.